On Thursday, September the 4th, 2014, the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan got together at the Governor's Conference Room in Cadillac Place in Detroit, Michigan for a very special event. It was called the Bridges to Homeownership Conference. This information-filled and educational event was organized by Utility Services of America, the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan, Wayne County, with additional support from the City of Detroit, MSHDA, and the State of Michigan. Also, the Detroit Land Bank, Wayne County Treasurer, and the State of Michigan. The goal of the Bridges to Homeownership Conference was to highlight the importance of local homeownership to Detroit's neighborhood revitalization and its future economic growth. In addition, they wanted people to be aware of the ongoing challenge of understanding how homeownership purchases strengthen the city's tax base and economy, clarifying the importance of Detroiters owning homes, also living and investing in the city, plus how to work with city, county, and state agencies to its fullest advantage. Homeowners learn to solve problems regarding understanding working with available resources, auctions, taxes, and county reverting, as well as where to find bid opportunities. Then once you find them, how to prepare a proper bid or quote for submittal. Also discussed what programs are in place to greatly benefit the citizens of Detroit in developing a solid knowledge base for winning relationships, plus why and how to develop a working relationship with your banker, the need to find homes through community, state, and city resources, and then develop them with the available resources in the City of Detroit.
Because neighborhoods are the heart of the city. Neighborhoods are just where people live, and people make up a community. And so if you have strong communities, you definitely will have a strong city, which builds a strong county. And so that's why it's absolutely important. It's very critical. And then it feeds into a bigger system. So when you have great neighborhoods, you'll have great schools, you have great grocery stores, and it just pollinates and it expands. So that's why it's essential to make sure we have really great communities.
Well, I think it's important to build home ownership in the city of Detroit because one, it establishes a sense of pride, but what it does is it really stabilizes the communities. Home ownership within these communities has people investing in where they live because they own their homes and they reside there. They care more about the neighborhood, and what it does is it brings the overall community. It brings it together, and it brings it to a state in which it can flourish. Someone who owns their home and it belongs to them, they generally tend to take care of it. And I think what it would do, it will also help to reduce crime within our neighborhood and kind of bring back that togetherness that our communities have been needing.
The School Anchor Initiative, which is the Neighborhood Stabilization School Anchor Strategy, is using schools and neighborhoods as an anchor, pretty much how you would do it in a larger area by using either a university or hospital as an anchor for developing that neighborhood, to stabilize it in terms of its residency, to create efforts around the school that translates into a quality of life for residents and families near that school. And so what we've done is we've spent some money in terms of blight elimination. We have some departments participating with services in the schools. We have an AmeriCorps initiative that works in conjunction with law enforcement, and an AmeriCorps Urban Safety Initiative that is already showing a reduction in crime after less than a year of being in operation. And we have efforts to enhance lighting. And with that, there are a number of other foundations and groups that have layered strategies in the areas that we've targeted in the city of Detroit.
Communities Without Borders is a wonderful organization that is a partner with all of our efforts, a leader in developing healthy communities in the United States and in Africa and in other parts of the world, solving problems of community division, solving problems of exclusion and poverty and sometimes conflict. And Communities Without Boundaries is taking the lead on this challenge of sustainable development and working together with the United Nations system, specifically with the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network, which I direct for the Secretary General of the UN, to work with Detroit, New York, Baltimore, and other communities in this country on these great challenges.
The county is reverting properties because in the last 3 years we've sold over 30,000 properties, and out of those 30,000, 2/3 of the people did not pay the taxes on the property. This has to stop. There's a culture that has developed that believes that taxes are optional. That can't be the case. When you own a home and own a property, there are certain responsibilities, and one of those is the payment of taxes. And by enforcing the reverter, we are collecting those taxes and making sure people step up to their obligation. The Black Caucus Foundation is incredibly helpful in getting the word out to people. A lot of people don't trust us. They look at the treasurer and think you're a government employee, you're not out for my best interest. We are out for your best interest, but many people don't accept that. By working with community groups, church groups, we are able to get the word out. They understand our programs, and also it's very important that they can get the information into the neighborhood in an understandable fashion. We try to do that, we try to break this down, but we know that there are many people who need help understanding these programs, and they're incredibly helpful in bridging that gap.
Well, the Bridges to Ownership program is one of the program components in the African American Commerce Initiative, which includes our Bridges to Entrepreneurship, our Bridges to Work, and Bridges to Ownership. There are a lot of renters in the city of Detroit, people that, for whatever reason, are not homeowners. We want to be able to create a seamless opportunity for a family to transition from renting to owning. And some of that includes addressing both financial literacy and helping them establish budgets that will allow them to pay all their bills and live a decent quality life and maintain a property. That process now is challenged by agency coordination as well as resource coordination. We certainly are happy to have the kind of support to work to bring that coordination together, and the timing I think is good because of what is occurring both at the county treasurer's office and the mayor's emphasis on neighborhood stabilization. So the objective of the Bridges to Ownership program is to give interested parties the capability to move from being a tenant to being a homeowner, specifically focusing on young people that are moving through our K through 12 system into a work readiness capacity that allows them to take advantage of some of the public infrastructure projects underway in terms of employment, and then as part of that also giving them the education and literacy they need to be homeowners. Two, taking skilled labor that has been laid off and on the bench that are not homeowners and trying to transition them into home ownership as they're called back to work as the result of the intense amount of infrastructure investment in public projects that are moving forward. And then lastly, current tenants now that are renting that have not thought to even look at the option of home ownership because of credit constraints they have. We're very fortunate to have Michigan Banker Association members like Talmer Bank and Liberty Bank that have stepped up specifically to try to help with that process. Talmer Bank in particular, has, a very, very innovative a package that allows for rehabilitation loans to be forgiven for persons that are moving into those disparate properties. So they're in combination. The mayor has said over and over again that part of Detroit's economic revitalization is going to be hinged on job creation through small business development and entrepreneurship. The African American Commerce Initiative focuses on driving that process by using the development of homeowner value as a catalyst for an income reserve that could be used for small business investment.